Hello, welcome to round 5. This is like the middle round. Oh no, opponents to 5 cards. We'll see how good Trial of Ambition gets, but likely very good against an opponent down to 5. 4 rounds before this round, 4 rounds after in the Swiss. Love to start 5-0. Drawing land there was huge. Next turn we can start going off with another trial. And by another, I mean our first trial, but might as well play this over the Minotaur. We get to kill any sort of creature here with our trial. That's not the most mana efficient, but it looks okay. It's possible that saving it a turn to do 2 things next turn might be better, but just want to start beating as soon as possible. Now this is interesting. See if they let us attack. If not, we'll just take a counter off the edifice. Start over. Now we want to remove this counter. Okay. Gotta say it to yourself or else you might get it wrong. Another one. Let's draw cartouche, shall we? Alright. In any case, we can just attack in here and trade something off with that brawler. Really? They'll just let us attack with both. The only pump spell they could have doesn't save their guy, so I mean, this must have just been a misclick. I guess it's just a misclick. Did they know we had another hauler? I mean, I feel like we're not getting as much value out of this hauler as we could. In case they do this in response. I mean, if they wanted to trade with that creature, they just stop the beast from attacking, right? We can leave this guy in play. There's some upside to having a guy to sack later. Ooh, when we get that trial, we're going to be... When we first get that cartouche, we're going to be in good shape. Or red mana, for that matter. Man, they're doing a lot on a mulligan to 5. Just 4 cards that trade 1 for 1 with our stuff. So 3 red sources in the deck. I guess 4 technically, but 1 is a lot slower. Come on. Wander in Death. Oh, that's going to be a lot of value for them to deal with. I mean, if we cycle perfectly, we get 2 or 3 more cards. I think we're just okay trading off here. But better yet, let's just get back to Quarry Haulers. They've got 1 card in hand, so they're under a lot of pressure. Two cartouches in the deck, 1 black, 1 red. Ooh, that's a nice one. Let's begin this dance with an attack here, if they let us. And they put a brick counter on, sure. Wait. Oh, this is combat, sure. I'm like, why can't we play our land? Why would you do this to us? Remove. Play this thing. Okay, don't draw any more stuff. We're doing okay against what we have to face right now. But if this is a giant monster, which it is, that gets a lot more troublesome. Let's see what they let us attack with. Ah, they're just going to get that Honored Hydra back. It was just the best possible draw on their deck. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? They get to use that and the... Yeah, this is nuts. We could trade our Quarry Hauler with the Winged Shepherd, but we have a pretty good answer to the Winged Shepherd as it is. So let's just pass here, and by pass I mean, let's see, 5. By pass I mean save the Deem Worthy for next turn. Get that counter off of there. Oh, Honored Hydra. Why? Why do we have to deal with this? This mess. Okay, at least that thing's beatable. Baleful Amit. Well, let's see what they let us get away with. We get in 7 damage here? Have some leftovers, and then what? Just put the counter on itself. It's not one they'd love for us to attack with. So here's Honored Hydra coming back for 4 mana. If they have a 2-drop, that gets pretty scary. Perfect. Oh my god, thank you. Doesn't really matter who we put this on, but I guess we put it on Cursed Minotaur. And then we just go nuts. All right. Phew. So we barely won the versus the mulligan to 5. So looking forward to this next game. Oh, what can we do? Well, we can put in that Scarab Feast for the Cultivator. Seems fine. And that seems about all we need here. If we had any artifact removal, we could think about putting that in. We do. We have Violent Impact. Goodness gracious. Let's switch it up here. Let's put in Violent Impact for a Wander in Death. Cool hand once again. Do they have to mulligan again? No, they get to keep it. Yeah, I don't mind being on the right side of variance. I'll take it. We're going to need a bit of luck. But I guess we just get 1 turn off. Let's go for the Companion here. Trial isn't going to get any better, but at least putting a threat in has some value. I hope they attack. I guess they're not. Then what do we do? Baleful Amit, not great stuff. Our options are limited. Let's see what they do though. I'll attack with the Companion. They have to block it here. I bet they block with the Duelist, and then we make them sack the Brawler. And that's about as good of a value as we can get for now. Champion of Ronus, draw red. Okay, we don't get red, but this is a good option anyway. Oh no, what are they going to get in? Are they going to get in their 6/6 this turn? Then we'll have to draw really well. They're exerting. They're putting some kind of monster in. Just a camel. Surprisingly good. Oh man. Yeah, we'll take the first hit. They're going to run out of stuff to put into play. They're down to 1 card in hand. We're going to run out of mana, or hope, pretty soon. Well, we could trade with the supply caravan if they want. Then what? Baleful Amit or Plague Belcher? I like Amit. Put the counter on the Brawler so it doesn't kill it. And then by the time we need to attack with it again, we can use the Quarry Hauler. And this blocks an exerted Hooded Brawler and threatens to attack back with some lifelink. So they could try to get in 8 here. Alright, they're just leaving a good blocker for the other nonsense. So I wonder what we're supposed to do here, but I think we're supposed to trade off. They're going to run out of resources before we do. Interesting. Belcher or Cartouche of Ambition? Let's get really greedy. Play the Belcher, put the counters on the Brawler. This gives us good blockers. They're not guaranteed to have something to deal with this, and if we use Cartouche of Ambition next turn, that can get pretty nuts. In fact, we even have a strategy versus the Fanbearer here. Yeah, check it out. So we play Cartouche on this guy. Put -1/-1 counter on the Fanbearer, get our thing back. Now their blockers are well set up versus this Plague Belcher we have. So we can't attack in here, but our guy's still a great blocker. Here it is, Mr. Oh, just a Colossipede. No worries, just a Colossipede. Get our Hauler in there. And they're still not really wanting to attack here. If they attack with too much, they won't have enough to block the Bearer and trade, or the Belcher and trade with it. We add a counter to kill it. They probably come in with just Colossipede. Vizier, too late for that. Well, not really. It's very good against this Splendid Agony right now. So the plan is to save Wonder and Death. We can run out Trial right away. This thing just prevents individual -1/-1 counters going on, so we can put 2 -1/-1 counters on something. Oh goodness. I think we have to wait until Final Reward to attack with our Belcher. We could cycle Wander in Death, or just get back some creatures. I like playing the Trial. And hoping our defense is good enough. If they ever start to attack, it gives us more options. Come on, red. Okay, it's not red, but it's not terrible. Yeah, let's just sit back. They can do some crazy nonsense by triple blocking, and that gets scary. This Vizier of Remedies is really doing work against us. Our attacks get much easier if we don't have to deal with that. We also want to save the final reward because it has some upside against that 6/6, the best card in their deck maybe, or an Angel of Sanctions, any kind of nonsense card like that. Ooh, let's get a card back. Get our Hooded Brawler and Baleful Amit back. That's fine. I mean, it lets us keep developing here for our big turn. Hooded Brawler. I almost clicked the Amit. I was aiming for the Brawler, and that's where it ended up. A lot of tough creatures over there. Quarry Hauler does nothing on the board. When we draw red, that's the real ticket to unlocking this hand, is to draw the red. Now where do we put this -1/-1 counter? From the Amit. Maybe just on itself again. Is the lifelink that important? I don't know, seems okay. Now they have 3 creatures that can block it for free, but I guess that's fine. Gotta watch our time too. I've been talking through it and our opponent's been playing quickly, so I've kind of been losing out there. But if nothing changes here, we just want to keep staying the course. And drawing Forest doesn't change anything. So they have 9 lands out, we have 7 or 8. So they've been drawing a lot of lands. It's another pretty good one. There we go. We did it, I guess. We can still pass it back here. Hopefully we didn't give up what we have by tapping like that. Gustwalker Exert, sure. We're at 21, but they've got to start doing damage eventually. Another Brawler. So we're going to cycle this and kill the Vizier because that makes Splendid Agony that much better. If they have a pump spell, they can try to save it. Mighty Leap. Well, let's see what we draw. Yeah, we'll still do the damage to it. We draw that. So we could spend our Splendid Agony now, or we can use Trial of Zeal to finish it off, and then we still have our Agony. Okay, I mean, we drew the card for it, so that's not bad. Is there something else we'd rather kill? No, we want to kill that Vizier. Then what? Do we get to attack this turn? Or do we wait? Do we wait until the time is right? I kind of like that. Let's put another counter on poor Baleful Amit. Poor little dude. No good attacks until we can hold up all our tricks. 10 mana over there. All right. I mean, we've got 10 too. So things are going about as expected. 5. All right. Time to break the mirror here. Haven't quite considered every possible outcome of this. But it's so unlikely they can block favorably with everything. So we'll even come in with the companion. It's not like they have a 1/1, and if they really want to block with a, you know, they could get it, but there are some blocks where we just spend our agony. Like this block already lets us get a lot of value off Splendid Agony, and they realized that we wanted to kill Vizier of Remedies, so they might pin us on one or more Splendid Agonies in hand. Finally, we catch up on time a bit when they are thinking about blocks here. The Battle of the Camels. You don't see that every day. Quarry Hauler versus Supply Caravan. Opponent is boasting camel superiority. They have the Quarry Hauler and the Supply Caravan, which is kind of the same concept, right? The caravan's bigger, maybe. Well, my goodness. They've just got it all, huh? If we can save Final Reward, I'll feel a lot better about this. We don't want to lose our Plague Belcher. Do damage to that thing first. Yeah, that's the only decision we have to make here. So the action is on us first, which means we want to put -1/-1 counters on at least Colossipede and Champion. So that, yeah, they get to trade the Crocodile and eat this guy. So they're left with Supply Caravan, Hooded Brawler, Gustwalker versus, you know, a lot of good stuff from us. And the Supply Caravan's annoying. There's not much we can do about that, though. We could save our Crocodile, but I'd rather save the Belcher. Whoops. And I want to save Final Reward. We could exile the Colossipede here, but I want to save that. It looks like we'll be okay if we just do it like this. And then, okay, they're just going to trade off here. Not terrible for us. And then we have the Final Reward to beat their final boss. Or just force this in. 6, 5, 6. Huh. I'll just wait a turn. I'll just wait a turn, yeah. They still have pretty good blocks for the Plague Belcher unless we spend the Final Reward. Edifice. Yeah, that's good against us. We do have that one out in the deck. We sided it in. Come on, here it is. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm going to cycle this. They only have one good thing for Scarab Feast, and the Final Reward works against that. Oh, here we go. The second cartouche. The final cartouche. Let's give Quarry Hauler the power. And then Supply Caravan can't block. These guys come back. They sacrifice Gustwalker. Trials are so fun. They could sacrifice the Supply Caravan if they're worried about taking the hit here. Maybe we shouldn't have played land. I always kind of have Censor in the back of my mind, but of course they can't have Censor here. In any case, let us attack here. Boy, it is tempting to not exert the Brawler. It's even tempting to final reward the Brawler, their Brawler. Because if we final reward their Brawler, Trial of Zeal is lethal next turn, regardless of what they do. So let's think about it. We have some time here. 11 puts them at 4. And then Fog or Dawn or none of that stuff can beat us. Yeah, I'm going to do it. They're at 2, and we have a Trial of Zeal in hand. So this can be any kind of monster. Honored Hydra, there it is. And it still doesn't beat Trial of Zeal. So let's lead with that. And it doesn't even beat our attack. Well, yeah, it does beat our attack for sure. Wow, so 5-0. We are over halfway there, and let's hope for some good luck in the last matches. The final 4.